I can't believe a month has passed already. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today on 916 Live. So delighted to have you with us today, as we are every second Tuesday of every month at noon. Thanks for being here with us. We've got a great show lined up for you today, but before I get to the show, I also want to talk to you a little bit about what's coming up and what's going to be happening probably before I get a chance to chat with you again. Our women's conference is coming up. Our Women's Forum, Connecting the Dots, will host its 13th or 14th, perhaps, year, where we will celebrate women in business. And it will be taking place at the Hilton Hotel here in Sacramento. And all of the information that you'll need, we hope to see you there. It will be a live event this year. We will request, however, that you be masked and be vaccinated or show that you've been tested within 72 hours of being with us. We just want to take every safety precaution and keep you as safe as possible while you're having a good time with us. So we've got a great show for you today, and I want to introduce you to our host with the most, whom you've seen many times on the show in the past with us, and his name is Michael Poindexter. Michael, thank you again for this last minute call. We had someone else lined up to do the hosting this month, and they just weren't able to be with us. And I had to call you at about 5 o'clock this morning to say, help. And you were right there, Johnny, on the spot, just as you've always been, almost as long as I've been with the chamber. So thanks for being there for us.
Oh, not a problem, Aziza. You know, when you call, we come. So, not a problem.
I'm prayerful that that'll last just a little longer. So thank you.
You bet. You bet. But thank you for that introduction, Aziza. And thank you for all of your hard work that you do at the chamber and making things work for us. So we give you a big thank you and a big hug out to you.
Thanks so much. Have a great show.
You bet. Okay, guys, welcome back to the Sacramento Black Chamber Facebook Live show. And thank you for joining us this time and for all the other times that you've visited with us and been a part of this show. We do appreciate your joining us and being a part of the Sacramento Black Chamber and spread the word about all the good things we're doing and making sure that we have more members coming back. I also want to remind you, today is the last day to vote, to cast your vote, for governor. And just realizing that I'm glad we're not in the same situation as Florida with all the different precautions that we put in place to make sure that we're going to be a safe California. So make sure you get out and cast your vote if you haven't voted. Summer is gone and we are in September, and September is easily and fastly moving away, and we're headed into the fall year. So whatever you're doing, that last minute summer cleaning or getting ready for fall, get it done. And also make sure you're being a part of all the events that we're doing with the Sacramento Black Chamber. Okay, let's get started. And our first guest today will be Kaifa Yates, and he's going to talk with us about YLC and also PAP. Kaifa?
Yes, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Appreciate the introduction. My name is Kaifa Yates. I am the program coordinator for the Sacramento Black Chambers, but I'm also the program coordinator for the Young Leadership Collaborative Entrepreneurship Scholarship Program, and also the coordinator for the Parent Advocacy Program. And so I'm going to speak about two things that we have going on. Hopefully I'm able to share my screen, maybe share with y'all the flyer, and just kind of give you guys an overview of what we're doing for our youth in the Sacramento community. So Michael, you let me know if you can see this.
Okay, I sure will.
Is this visible?
Yes, it is.
Visible? Okay, cool. All right, so this is the YOC Scholarship Program. We are right now actively recruiting for youth in the Sacramento between the age of 16 to 23 years old. The YOC Entrepreneurship Leadership Program, sponsored through the Sacramento Black Chamber of Commerce. The objective is to practically give students the opportunity to be entrepreneurs. Students who are interested in being a part of that, who are interested in creating their own business, having their own whatever they want to do. If they want to be a business owner, if they want to own their own shoe brand or start their own company, we're giving them an opportunity to do this through this program. They are going to go through a 4-month process that starts in January all the way to May. And they will be able to focus on different objects or different things throughout each month. What is the business? What is the business model? What is their vision and mission? And based off that, they're going to create their own business and be able to present that. And then also the best thing about this is that they're going to be able to get a scholarship for being part of this program. This is another way for us to influence our community, influence our students and our kids into owning their own, really to give back to them all the information that they need, and also connect them with different presenters. So we have a lot of great presenters who want to come in and speak to our youth, who have their own companies, who have started their own nonprofits and LLC, and they will talk to them about how to create that business, how to start that and launch that for themselves. And I think this is a great opportunity for our students to see something different that they don't see in the classrooms. And so we're actively looking for youth out there in Sacramento. It could be actually anywhere, because this will be a hybrid model. It won't just be virtual. So we'll, depending on the pandemic and everything that's going on, we'll figure out how it's going to look. But we are actively looking for students to apply. This right here is our flyer. The application deadline for the YOC is October 11th. We will have group interviews on November 13th. We will start our orientation December 11th. And then workshop, like I said before, we're starting in January, and we'll go all the way up to April or May, depending on the students and depending on the presenters. And for completing the program, you will get a scholarship. So the workshop will be motivation, business operations, competitive analysis, developing your brand. I think that's really huge, right? Really developing your brand, who you are, what you want to do, personal budgeting and credit management, and then also resume and interview skills. So really try to build their resumes up, teach them how to really create that in cover letters, and then also building their interview skills. So when they're able to do their job, they know how to present themselves. And this right here is the QR code. We could go ahead and, I don't know, Michael, if you have the opportunity to send this to our guests, or I will also post this on our social media. We do have a social media for the YOC, Great. Which is yoc.sacramento. If you want to follow that, and then we could also maybe even post that on the Facebook as well.
Okay, great. Kaifel, I don't know if you know, but I'm the founder of the Young African American Leadership Program.
No, I kind of Megan actually, and Megan and Eric and Lisa kind of gave me a little bit. We haven't had the opportunity to speak.
Yeah.
I know.
So we started that, but you guys have brought it a long way from how we started it several years ago. So it's a fantastic program. I've actually participated in the program. And the youth get a lot out of it. And many of the youth have actually started their own business. So It's a good program to bring youth in. And that scholarship piece is real important, especially for those students that are going on to college. It's a major piece, but you do have to complete the course and be there at all the sessions to make sure you get that scholarship.
Right. And that's why we're going through the interview process as well, to kind of just see who's really serious about being a part of it, because it is going to be a little strenuous. I mean, we are going to do it every 2 Saturdays out the month. But we'll definitely try to make it as useful as easy as possible.
Yeah. So it's a good program to go through, guys. So anybody that has a son or a daughter that's interested, I would suggest, and if they're wanting to start a business, and a lot of our kids out there today want to start their own business, and
Right.
we know that America is built on that whole small business and businesses making America work and the economy in America work. So it's a good opportunity for young people to learn how to start it. And they have some, like you said, some really, really good presenters that come in who have businesses and can share their experiences and things that they have to go through. So if you have a son or a daughter or a friend, tell them about the program and make sure that they actually apply and become part of this wonderful opportunity.
Yes, yes.
Kai, for anything else you want to share?
Well, wanted to let everybody know that the deadline will be October 11th, so we definitely want to move fast on this and
Yeah.
applying. And then I also want to briefly mention about the parent advocacy program that we are partnering up with the Fortune schools. And what we'll do, our goal is really to provide Fortune school parents with training in the community on advocacy through a cohort-based program. So very similar to the YOC for the students between 16 and 23 years old. We're doing this for our parents to really give them information on how to be advocates for charter schools. So we have great presenters who are going to be speaking, and this program actually is going to start in November. And so we are actually we'll be starting actually recruiting for that in October. So any Fortune parents out there who are interested in being part of this, please reach out to us. I will be going to different schools and doing outreaching and presentation about this. So please look out for that. This is called the Parent Advocacy Program, PAP for short. But definitely a great opportunity again for our parents to be educated. I think that's highly important. Me and my dad just had a conversation about that yesterday about being educated, right? Understanding the city councils and voting and all that. Me and my dad go back and forth all day, just talk about how important that is and how important it is to educate our youth and our parents. So please look out for that. So if you're a Fortune parent, please look out for that in the month of October.
Yeah. And that's just one of the things. If you guys haven't heard about the Fortune School, they are having some wonderful success with the students that actually attend those schools. Their scores and their success rates are off the charts. So this is a wonderful opportunity for parents to get involved with the PAP program and to learn all of the ins and outs about the whole educational system and how to be an advocate for your sons and for your daughters. Guy, for anything else that you want to share with us?
No, that's it.
Okay.
No, I did actually notice that on the email, I gave my wrong email. I gave actually my work email for my work, and I need to give you my SAC Black one, which is, I'll say that out loud, which is kyates@sacblackchamber.org. So please reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. I'm here to help.
Okay. Well, thank you for all of your hard work there.
Thank
And I look forward to meeting you because I don't think I've met any of the
you. Yeah.
personally yet. So
Right.
I'm looking forward to getting in there. I'll have a mask on and I've had my shots.
Me too. Yeah.
And I'll get in and make sure I'm meeting with you guys.
All
But
right.
thank you for that good information about the Young Entrepreneurs Program and also the PAP program too. Two interesting programs that if you're interested, there's still time to apply for them and to get in on those programs. Thank you for joining us, Kaifa. And I'm going to move on to the next guest, Alana Jennings, and she's with the Hacker Labs Code for Hood. I can't wait to hear about this, Hacker and Hood. Alana.
Well, just good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So, not to confuse the two, we are not Hacker Lab. We're actually Code for Hood and Operation Innovate. We actually have a space inside of Hacker Lab, and so folks tend to confuse the two. Plus, we are, in the past we have been powered by Hacker Lab. Gina and I both own Code for Hood together. And she also owns Hacker Lab. So that's probably where the confusion comes in. But definitely a big partner and supporter of Code for Hood. They've powered most of our hackathons in the past, a lot of our events with all their teachers and their volunteers there. So definitely don't want to discard or disregard that, but I definitely don't. I want to keep a little bit of division because we strictly have created this program to reach our youth and introduce them to STEM career pathways. So we've done it differently in the past. We've done hackathons and large events, and I think Aziz has been pretty familiar with all of those, from West Sacramento to Oak Park. However, COVID has definitely took a hit on us, and we had to put a big pause button on our programs, but we're really excited. We are actually relaunching back as of this month. We've got a couple of programs coming up. One that has started already. The one that started already is our after school program. We will be, again, like I said, located in the Hacker Lab on downtown Sacramento. We are offering programming, working directly with some of the charter schools. We know a lot of our parents have chosen to go to the charter school route due to the COVID pandemic, so we're also looking for other charter schools to partner with. So we'll be offering STEM classes and Makerspace classes throughout the day, Monday through Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And all of our classes run 90-minute sessions. We have a Makerspace woodshop class, an animation class, and a game dev class happening this fall. And so I put our website, our landing page in the chat. If you have questions, feel free to give me a call. Again, a lot of our programs right now are geared to parents who are just walking in and like to take some classes, and also partnering with our charter schools. We also going to be working and partnering with the library, Colonial Heights Library. We're going to be offering, this has not started yet, but definitely please keep me on your radar, keep my phone number, keep our email, partnering with UC Davis, Aggie Square, to offer a workforce accelerator program, primarily for our kids in the Oak Park area, in the Colonial Heights area. We're going to be working with, hopefully doing an IT help desk training program and getting these kids not only trained, but also internship opportunities, hopefully with UC Davis. We're actually working with them right now, so just, fingers crossed. And then some of the local new businesses that are coming into that area. So we really are targeting the youth that live in that area, particularly Oak Park, Tahoe Park, Colonial Heights, to get them in this program. Those will be our high school age youth. And then we're also back at Leah Tata Floyd, which is also located, I believe, off Broadway and 5th. We haven't started just yet. We launched this program in the spring. We had to put a pause on it because the Zoom was not working. Those kids were really frustrated. So we're going to be on campus. The partners and I are all talking now about when we're going to start up, but we'll also be at Leah Tata Floyd for any of those parents out there that may have kids enrolled in that school. We'll be offering an afternoon, I think it's after school and lunchtime STEM workshops. So definitely keep an eye out for those upcoming programs. We definitely have the after school programs are already started now. We're located downtown Sacramento off R Street.
Alana, wow.
That's a lot.
A lot of information. But I want to pause there.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know about what a makerspace is and how it works. So could you just talk a little bit about that makerspace? Because it's being done in so many communities all over the United States, and sometimes in the African-American community. I know we have a few of them, but people really don't understand makerspace. Just talk with us a little bit about what a makerspace is and opportunities in makerspace.
Right. So some of our other programs that I'll kind of back up a little bit. So again, we do a lot of STEM awareness and also entrepreneurship and design thinking for our kids. So a lot of folks do a lot of coding programs where we try to tap into all elements of what we consider to be STEM. We actually call it STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, art, math, entrepreneurship, and design thinking. So that's our actual acronym, because we tap into all those different areas of that STEM career pathways. And so what happens is you got the computer classroom, which is where we do all the coding and the animation and all that wonderful, technology stuff. And then you've got that maker piece, which is what we call the makerspace. That's where the entrepreneurship, some of that design thinking comes into play, and also the art. In our makerspace, kids are going to have access to, wood shop cutting materials, 3D printers, laser cutters. We have a jewelry making station. So think of it, if you had an entrepreneurial idea and you wanted to make something, and I say make, it doesn't have to always be about technology. We've got folks in there making, refurbishing furniture and selling it for a living.
Yeah.
We've got folks in there making their own products like jewelry and bath soaps and all those different things, and they're making it there, and then they're creating a business opportunity for themselves. Right. And so a makerspace, and most folks are going to be adults that are using it, but for us, our kids are going to have access to it. And so it's going to be very organized. We're doing 3D printing, like I said, laser cutting, wood shop. I just went and bought, hundreds of dollars worth of plywood. I don't know what they're going to make, but they're going to make something. So when I say STEM, I don't want everybody to always think, oh, it's a coding program.
Right.
STEM is so much more, and that's why we've encompassed design thinking and entrepreneurship, particularly to get to our kids so that they can start to think a little bit more outside the box, than always just in a box. Now you can also, our Makerspace also includes, we have laptops for our kids that they'll bring in there, and they can also do some studio design work. And what they may design, like saying, I don't know, posters, a keychain or a poster or something. They want to print it. So they can actually print those things in our Makerspace. So they'll have access to a lot of tech and manufacturing type materials and tools that they can actually build and make and learn and create. So that's our model: learn, make, and create. Yeah,
this is a wonderful opportunity. This Makerspace has taken off. It's been out there for like 7, 8, 9 years now.
It definitely has. Yes, has.
But sometimes in many of our communities of color, you don't see those opportunities that you guys are providing now. So wonderful job what you're doing. Also, I just want to tell you, on Netflix and on all of the shows, you see nothing but coding shows now.
Well, I know.
Everything is about coding now, And
I'm going to tell you this, I started this business because that's what I do. That's what my background's in, but I don't want our kids to miss it. And so there's definitely opportunity out there. We're also moving into a lot of the cybersecurity stuff. We do our first cybersecurity hackathon for youth right before the pandemic hit. And so we haven't done one since, but we're also been bringing some of those elements into our programming. As I say, we're slowly and surely, inching our way back into the real world. We didn't want to throw too much on everybody, but definitely, stay tuned to our Facebook page. Make sure to like us there and add us. We keep a lot of our information posted there. But it's definitely an opportunity for all of our kids and to get more aware and more acclimated with STEM.
Yeah, and to be introduced to the whole area, because we have to share with everybody, coding and that whole cyber thing, there's big bucks in those jobs.
Big dollars.
Big bucks in it.
Big bucks, yes.
So getting in there and becoming a coder and learning how to do those types of things. All you got to do is just turn on Netflix or any of the shows. You'll see tons of movies where it just it's all about coding and cyber, or you name it. So good job, and thank you for bringing that.
Yeah, to the definitely. Community. So anyone interested, definitely reach out, pass on my information, and we can definitely get some more information.
Well, good job, and we appreciate you being out there and making sure we know how to code. Should I say and hack? But no, I shouldn't
hack. A lot of the kids always say, all the kids always ask me, "Are we gonna learn how to hack into computers?" I'm like, "No, you're not. You're not teaching you how to become criminals. We want you to become a coder." Yeah, it's a different. That word is totally not what it's meant for.
Exactly. Well, Alana, thank you very much for talking with us about the whole area that you're doing, and hopefully people will be a little bit more involved. And we also need to say thank you for being a member too. I mean, I guess you're making us really look good by having this whole new age attitude in bringing it to the chamber. So thank you very much. You are fantastic. So awesome. I'm going to move on to our next guest. And we're going to be bringing in James D. Jackson. He's the founder and CEO of iSound Musical and Performing Arts and Community Development. James, that was a lot.
Yeah, in the nonprofit sector, you got to put all that in there. So let them know it's all about the community.
Let them know, it's all about the community. And we do all of these things.
Yes, we do. We do all of this and much more.
Exactly. You want to talk with us about your program and what you do? And I mean, the first name of it, it's catchy. First of all, everybody wants to know iSound, and they connected to all the iMusic and you name it.
iPhone, I this, I that. Yeah. Thank you, sir, for in my long introduction of the name of iSound, Performing Arts Community Development Incorporated. Yeah, so yeah, guys, and I am one of the newest. I said the newest Sacramento Black Chamber of Commerce. Woohoo, woohoo!
Okay.
So I'm glad to be part of the family, the fold. So yeah, so I sound really there was an I sound, which is for international sound music, because I used to do music across the overseas and stuff like that. So, but really, I was doing I sound in the mid '90s before I even knew there was an I sound. And I say that because I was working with the kids in music for so long. Um, but on February 22nd, my son James Jackson Jr. was killed right here in Sacramento, California,
Oh, wow.
by gun violence, and so drive-by shooting. And at the time, I was in Atlanta, living in Atlanta. I thought I was going to retire in Atlanta, doing music and a lot of different things with BET and TV One. And so I wanted to turn the tragedy into more of a triumph for my family and also for the kids here in the Sacramento community. Because, they took music out of schools, they took arts out of schools. So I said, you know what, let me curve. Because my son, he was into arts, he was 20 years old, just going to pick some lunch up with some friends, and some friends had got into trouble with sometimes you're guilty by association.
Right.
And he was going to pick some other friends up, and the other guys saw the other guys in the car, and they wanted to shoot those guys. But my son gets the bullet while he was eating his burger. So I wanted to come back to Sacramento to start the performing arts. Actually, I did start one in Atlanta, 2018, but I wanted to start one here to just help curb the violence and to enhance the talents of the kids here. A lot of our Black communities really had music in their schools that really even saw music instruments. So
Hmm.
my goal was to get our teens here and to give them alternative in a positive way, to curb their anger. There's a lot going on in the community, as we know, even prior to pandemic. Let's not
Hmm.
talk about the pandemic. Let's talk about just prior to dealing with issues in their homes, issues in the school, bullying, systemic racism, community violence, all the time. So I said, you know what? Let me start the arts here, in honor of my son, and also to help curb the violence. Also, we not just the performing arts, but life skills class. Um, Peer pressure is no joke. A lot of
Right.
these kids want to be the big cheese. They want to be the big person. We want to be, and so we want to let them know, that's not the way to go.
Right.
Now, if back in the day, if you would get smart with your mother, your daddy, you're gonna get a whooping.
God.
Ain't no,
A
ain't no.
whooping, a beat
Look, listen,
down.
right? Listen. I'll use this. Ain't no doing none of that. No, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it big time.
Exactly.
And so we wanted to teach our teens about just respecting not only each other, but respect your parents, and to respect others and respect others' space. Our job is at iSound to give a safe space to learn about the arts, learn about the music. So 2019, we did a big music camp in 2 weeks. I said, I can pull off something major in 2 weeks. I can keep these kids active during the summer, because summer time is where all the ruckus is going on. Kids are outside, frustrated, a lot of stuff going on summertime. So I said, let me put on a performing arts camp in 2 weeks. Well, got some instructors together. We had the dance class, the music, the drums, piano, how to produce music, um, all the above, guitar, keyboards.
Hmm.
And
Yep.
so our goal was to, in 2 weeks, not only we got to pull that off, but we're going to write 3 songs, and we got to go into a multi-million-dollar studio, write the songs, record it. I have my producers join, and we joined together. And the second week, we did a concert and came out with the CD, over 500 people in attendance, and a lot of kids in the community. We started off the first night was 25 kids. We ended up with 110 kids the third night,
Mm.
and it just kept going. And so it was just a blessing to see not only our African American kids, but just kids abroad in Sacramento area coming together, not to fuss and fight, but to come together, and they're working together, talking about music, working out, talking about the different, because music is a universal language.
Right.
And so
Right.
our goal is to instill greatness into them. So at the end of the 2 weeks, they was like, Mr. Jackson, is there something? Are we going to have something going on after this? And the parents were calling. What can I do to get? One parent had a son. right after the camp, he went to juvenile hall, got in trouble for something. He's like, Mr. Jackson, my son's, he's been incarcerated. As soon as he get out, please, what we got going on? So I did another camp, talked to the kid, and it's just about hanging around the wrong people at the wrong time.
Right. Right.
So that's our goal. Our goal is to keep our kids active, keep them motivated. We do have a additional to our arts. We do have the gang prevention unit that we just start up, and just it's an awesome thing. Just to, first of all, I came from Watts, okay, Detroit. I came from the projects. I have those kind of knucklehead friends, but they were running the fight. Guess what I was running to? I was running up the street to the church playing on the piano.
Yeah.
Okay. So music saved me, and so I said, you know what? If it can save me, it can save a lot of other people, a lot of other
Exactly.
teens. Okay, so
Exactly.
we're just so happy to bring this to Sacramento and to help just curb the violence. Also, we have a lot of good sponsors, and God bless us with a couple of grants. And we just did the celebration and healing concert last Friday.
Wow.
It's about all the parents that lost their kids through community violence in Sacramento, and it was a wonderful, wonderful event. Faith-based music, um, good gospel, good church, good inspiration, poetry, dancing, and due to social distancing, we had it very stretched out, and well, CDC required and whatnot, and we were just so happy the mayor and the city councilman came through and gave a resolution for this event. It was a good event. We wanted to just heal the parents because a lot of parents, we heal, we grieve, but we want to also honor and also celebrate. And
Yeah.
so we were able to do that. So that's another entity to the iSound Community Celebration Community Incorporated.
Yeah. Well,
So
you're doing a lot of work in the community, and especially bringing our youth together.
yes,
And the thing that you're doing is you're engaged with the youth, and
hmm
you're showing them that you care, and that's the only thing that they're asking for
yes,
to be engaged and to someone to communicate with me, someone for me to be accountable to. So you're doing an excellent job in that, and we appreciate you, James, and just keep up the good work. Okay.
thank you very much. So also go to iSoundPerformingArts.org and you get a chance to see us on Channel 13, a lot of different little specials we were able to do. So thank you all for your
Okay.
support.
Okay. Thank you. Good job. Okay. We're going to move on to our next presenter. That's Cynthia Smith. She's the executive director of Sisters of Nia. And tell us about Sisters of Nia. Am I saying it right?
You are.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Uh-huh.
Yes, Sisters of Nia. So I'm the founder and executive director of Sisters of Nia. The program was founded back in 2009 at PS7 Middle School. My daughters were attending there, so I thought that would be the perfect place to start the program. We are now entering our 13th year of programming. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. Can you all see that?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
We can see it.
This is our most recent group of graduates from the program. But a little bit about us. So our mission for the program, Sisters of Nia, our ultimate goal is to work with adolescent girls in the Sacramento area. We provide cultural and educational programs that are designed to instill strong social skills, leadership development, and academic excellence in our young ladies. Our vision is to inspire, encourage, and empower girls to reach their fullest potential and live their life with a purpose. That is our main goal, to inspire these girls to live their life with a purpose. So a little bit about our program. The grade levels are 6th through 8th grade. It is a 3-year rites of passage program. So our goal is that the girls start the program in 6th grade and stay with us through 8th grade. We meet with the girls in individual grade level groups. And we meet, currently we're meeting once a month. When we initially started the program, we were meeting weekly. But due to our capacity, we are now meeting monthly, the first Saturday of each month for about 3 hours with the girls. And each grade level has its own theme and curriculum. So the 6th grade theme is, who am I? And that grade level really focuses on developing the self, but learning what it means, learning what sisterhood means, creating a sense of sisterhood, getting to know what it means to be a sister of Nia. And then they also get an introduction into African history. And we start with the fact that Africa is a continent and not a country. So the sixth grade girls will learn about Africa prior to slavery. They'll learn that their history did not begin with slavery. They're going to learn about different ancient civilizations in Africa. They're going to learn about different African queens. But the goal is that they get a very good, strong, in-depth introduction to African history. Seventh grade goes a little deeper into African history, and we do use a film series called Hidden Colors. So we use that first series to go a little bit deeper with the girls. And then they also, well, their focus is, am I who I say I am? So there's a deeper focus on developing their sense of self, for them to become confident and comfortable in their skin, and also to be able to communicate effectively and positively in a positive and productive manner. There's also a focus on leadership, and we continue that theme of unity. Eighth grade is the best year, I say. That's where, that's the goal for the girls to get to that eighth grade year. And it's a lot of work to graduate from this program. So sixth and seventh grade, they're being poured into. And in eighth grade, it's a time for them to show what they've learned from this program. So every one of our lessons is designed around one of the principles of Afrocentric living. So one of the principles of Kwanzaa, and we added an eighth, which is Heshima. Our principles are here, which means respect. So each of our lessons is designed around one of those principles. So when the girls get to eighth grade, they have a rites of passage task series that they need to complete, one for each of those principles. So one might be shadow somebody who's in a career that you might be interested in and interview them. One might be to interview an elder in their family and find out what life was like when they were their age. They also have to do an HBCU report. So each of those projects have to be completed in order for the girls to be able to graduate from the program alumni. Another highlight from the eighth grade year, we take the girls to Atlanta and we do an HBCU and Black History Tour. So we'll take them to visit Spelman and Clark Atlanta University. We do a walk through Morehouse, but we do everything King, the King Center, his childhood home, the church, the burial site. We go to the Apex Museum, which is a hands-on African history museum. We go to the Center for Civil and Human Rights, a hands-on museum, and we take them to the zoo, to the aquarium. It's an action-packed week of learning and fun. And then that year culminates with their rites of passage celebration when they actually graduate from the program. So let's see if I can stop sharing. We are only in Sacramento currently. Our goal is that we become nationwide and actually worldwide. We'd like to become the girls, Girl Scouts for girls of color. So that's our ultimate goal. We are really excited because we just secured a new meeting place. We'll be meeting at St. Paul in the Ephraim Williams Family Life Center. So we're very excited about that. This is a big step up for us. Unfortunately, in the past couple of years, we've been meeting on Zoom, due to COVID. But prior to that, our meeting locations were not quite where we wanted to be. So we're really excited. We love the Oak Park area. We've been in the Oak Park area, but we're really excited to have this partnership with St. Paul. Some of our accomplishments. All of our girls that have graduated the program have gone on to college. So we're really excited about that. Many of our girls are attending HBCUs. So we're extremely excited about that. We don't have anybody at Spelman yet, still working on it, but we do have students at Clark Atlanta University. So we are planning to go back to Atlanta in 2022 and looking forward to having students on campus, alumni students on campus. And last but not least, scholarships. So we offer scholarships for our alumni girls and any girl in the Sacramento area. So this year we awarded $12,550 in scholarships, which is a tremendous success because we are a grassroots program. None of our workers, no one who works with us is being paid. Everybody is a volunteer. So for us to be able to give away that much money in scholarships was a huge accomplishment. We also offer parent outreach workshops that are aimed at building and strengthening communication between parents and their daughters. And we also offer a father-daughter bowling competition. That's a lot of fun. The dads come out and show out for that. There is a prize. We have a mother-daughter spa party every year. We perform around in the community. So it's a very robust program, but very grassroots. And we're looking to change that piece. So thank you.
It sounds like you guys are doing some wonderful work with our girls. And I'm here to tell you, having worked in the college system, our girls need all of the care and support that they can possibly get. And, you know, we need the same program for our young men, too. So they know how to treat our young ladies. Okay. Because I have to be honest out there. Sometimes I don't like the way our young men are treating our young girls, you know. And you guys are doing all the right things to make sure our young girls know how to respond to that negativism that's out there.
Absolutely.
So good work, good job, keep it up. Enjoy what you're doing. Somebody has some office space for you. You better talk to James Jackson. He might have some office space there for you. So.
Oh, okay. And I have to say, as I was sitting listening to the others before me, I'm definitely excited and interested. I'll be reaching out to everyone because I do see partnership opportunities, and I'm very excited. So thank you.
Okay, sounds great. We're going to get on to our last presenter, and thank you for joining us, and thank you for being here, Shenandoah. Did I pronounce that right? Shenandoah Hollis.
You nailed it. You nailed it, Michael.
Did I really? Well, thank you for being with us. She is the founder of Black On-Course Education Services. So, Shenandoah, talk with us about your program.
First of all, thank you for having me, Michael. I'm excited. I'm with you, Cynthia. Like, I've been sitting back listening to all the great work that's being done in the community. And I noticed a theme of education. I don't know if it was intentional or if it's just a coincidence, but I'm here for it. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, thanks again for having me. Back on Course Educational Services was really born out of my experience as a college student in studying chemical engineering. One of the first things I noticed when I walked in the classroom, I looked around and I was like, oh, there are very few people of color in here. And I don't know if I was like, you know, I'm from Washington, D.C., which is affectionately known as Chocolate City, right? So for me, I was taken aback, like, okay. I was like, okay. But you know, I stuck with it. I stuck through it. But it would not have been possible without educational support. Like I figured that out early on, like having a support system was like clutch. It was clutch and it was key.
Yes.
And so I kind of took that with me. And I noticed that no matter what space I really was in throughout my career, the same thing, I kept noticing, right? Yeah. So it turns out it wasn't just an observation. It's a fact that African Americans, Latinos, Native Americans make up only 13% of the science workforce. And that's all together. That's combined.
Yeah.
So, you know, which is a jarring statistic, right? And so there's clearly a problem there.
Yeah.
Enter Back on Course Educational Services. So our goal is, what we do is we really, our goal is to support those that are underrepresented in science. Mm-hmm. And we help in a couple of different ways, right? So our goal is to help people stay connected to the community, right? Find opportunities within the scientific community to foster confidence, to develop skills, right? So that people can be successful in their career.
Yeah.
So essentially our goal is to support you as you navigate your science career, whatever that looks like. And for me, it was quite a journey, right? I've done a bit of everything, some scientific research. I've worked in chemical plants and industry, and then I landed on education, which is like my sweet spot. So, and I like it here, so I'm gonna stay. But again, throughout the whole thing, I noticed a lack of representation in spaces and realized that it was a problem that I really wanted to work on solving. And
Yeah.
so we do a couple of things to really help support adult learners that are underrepresented in science. First thing is we support you wherever you are. So in the age of COVID, a lot of us are connecting exactly how we're connecting today, online.
Right.
And so that's a big part of how we reach those that we serve. We want to make sure that it's accessible. And right now, online can tend to be the name of the game. So that's one way. We also really help you to reach your goals faster. How so? Well, first of all, you're learning beyond the classroom, which gives you an edge, really. And you have direct access to expert knowledge from specialists with credentials and hands-on experience in science fields, which is something you often don't get in the classroom, right? You read about it, you hear about it, but it's not all the time that you can sit across from someone that's done it. So we bring that into the fold and really help support you in that way. And then also we make getting help stress-free. I've worked with college students in the past, and I can't tell you how many times, and it made me want to pull my hair out. It's so frustrating that I've come across students that are on a whole college campus, and are like, I can't find help.
Right.
And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Right.
And so we want to make that as stress-free as possible. So it's a pretty streamlined process for how you can get support from back on course educational services. And what that looks like is really three things. The first thing is you identify a session topic based on your interest. And the good news is we have you covered. So there are a variety of topics you can choose from test preparation to mock interviewing. So lots of, and everything in between, right? That is a part of your experience as you navigate your career as a scientist, an engineer, whatever that looks like. And so it's a la carte. So, we're all about personalizing your learning experience, right? We're not all the same, we're different. Right. And so different people are going to have different needs. So you pick your session topic based on what you need. That's first thing. Second thing, book your session. Easy enough, book your session. And then lastly, you complete a brief client needs survey. So again, it's all about personalizing your experience. We want to make sure that we meet you where you are. And so part of that is to really roll our sleeves up and ask the question, like, what do you need in this moment? What do you need? And so we use that information to really further personalize and tailor what your experience looks like throughout your journey with us. And then lastly, our goal is to make learning accessible. So I've heard, today several times the importance of having access. And we agree here at Back on Course Educational Services, access is key. And so we create that access to education, quality education in a few different ways. In addition to the online sessions that add that extra layer of personalization, we also offer downloadable educational digital products in English and in Spanish that you can take advantage of and refer back to if you need to outside of a session. And then lastly, we work with donors, individual donors and organizations to provide sponsorship options. We understand that different people have different needs, different budgetary needs, whatever the case may be. And so part of the way that we create that access is if you have a financial need to be able to provide sponsorships for those that qualify and that need that. So, lots of different ways to reach people. And more than ever, I heard the pandemic come up earlier in the discussion. And I mean, now more than ever, it's critical that we really nurture and develop our science workforce. I mean, this is probably, I don't know if you all are aware, but it's really shocking that we're in the middle of a pandemic and there are currently over 2 million unfilled science positions. 2 million in the middle of a pandemic. So there's clearly a need for a diverse talent. And we really want to help, people get there and get to the finish line.
Yeah. Again, you're another person that's doing some fantastic work out there that's engaging our students, providing access for our students. And with those science programs, nobody's, pulling the little Black girl over, a little Hispanic girl over, a guy over saying, I want to help you get through this course. Nobody's doing that in the colleges and in the universities. And if they are, they're only finding that one person that they might do that with. But we found out in looking at the data that if a student is engaged and somebody has touched that student that they are held accountable to, that student is going to be successful in that science course and in that math course. But if they're just trying to do it by themselves, it normally doesn't work.
It can be lonely. It's going to be a
It's
lonely
lonely.
journey that way.
Yeah, I'm like you. I'm from St. Louis.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I'm from St. Louis, and I ended up going to this school called Creighton University, where there was only 20 of us.
Wow.
know, and you know, different experiences. They were all wealthy. We were poor. You know, they had all the access. We had none. You know, and it's a different kind of experience going into those areas. And you do need people like you guys, you know, to be out there to be able to help and to be able to show that you know, students are accountable to you and they know where to get help from, especially in those courses. Those courses are hard.
Yeah.
You know, and let's be honest, some of those courses in the science and math, you know, they're looking to fail students right up front.
Hey, and it's crazy. I saw the numbers every semester. I would see the numbers dwindle. They got lower and lower and lower, and it's just like,
yeah, I know. Well, we're so glad that you're there and providing these services, and we hope that your presentation today is being just going through the to everybody that's out there that has a son or a daughter that may be interested in science, and not only just interested in science, but just to get through a science course.
Okay. We'll talk about it.
You know, just to get through a science course. You don't have to be want to be a scientist, but you do have to get through that biology course. You have to get through that chemistry course. You have to get through all of those different types of courses. So we're glad that your services are there, and thank you for being with us today.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I hope that people will find all of you guys, because you have some wonderful programs that are out there to help our youth. And again, I talk about that engagement and that communication, and that somebody who cares about our students, you know, and cares about if they're going to be successful, because mediocrity is not the word of the day. It's
that's not the move.
Definitely. No. So thank you to everybody that was on today's panel. You guys have done a fantastic job in identifying that caring and that education and that engagement piece that our students need out there. So thank you so very, very much for all of your time today. And we want to thank our listeners too for joining in with us today. You guys have done a fantastic job. We see the numbers growing every time that we have an opportunity to do our Facebook on live and spread the word that we're providing information and vital information that I think you need in our daily lives and in your businesses that are out there. So the work that the Chamber is doing is some very, very good work. You've just heard some of it today, but there are other different types of programming that's out there that can help your businesses. So please, if you haven't joined, join us. And if you want more information, our information is in the chat box of how you can get in contact with us and become part of the Sacramento Black Chamber. I want to give one more last word out there too. If you haven't voted today, you might want to get out there and vote, because this is the last day that you can vote. You know, we're not like Florida. We're not like Arizona. We're not like Texas and Arkansas, where the numbers of COVID is just going up rapidly. I think there's some good work that has been put in place in California to make sure that we're not, you know, having high numbers in the hospitals and having high numbers of people that are dying in our city. So get out there and vote today. And I can't tell you who to vote for, but vote right and vote to make sure that we won't go into any situation that's like happening in Florida. You know, we hope you're going to enter into the fall with much success, and your businesses are going to grow. And we want to thank you and have you join us again and tell somebody so they can join and find out more what we're doing in the Sacramento Black Chamber. You guys are great. Thank you for being here. We look forward to seeing you next time. See you later. Bye-bye.